the first big talking point of the day I wanted to start with, gentlemen, is transfer news. I wanted to do it because it's literally breaking. It's been in my DMs all day. Kim Min-jae to Man United is reportedly advanced. And backstage, Patrick, your response was, "Oh no, why?"
Oh, I love him, man. Good player. And I remember Sonny recommended him to Spurs about 2 years ago, and we bypassed it. And then he went to Napoli. Everyone's seen how good he is. He's a beast. And yeah, if he goes to Man United, you lot are going to have some good defenders: Varane, Martinez, and then Kim Min. That's some free quality options to swap around, and yeah, just strengthen you guys. The guy's a quality player. Surprised when he went to Napoli, there wasn't more people in for him. But obviously, he's proved and shown his worth this season. Napoli have gone on to win the league. The guy's been quality in the Champions League as well. And yeah, I'm disappointed that we didn't move for him when we could have and got him for a snip for around about 10, 13 million. Now he's probably going to go for what, 50, 60, 40 million at a minimum.
Wait, I actually no, Patrick, sorry. That is crazy because so you had the chance to get Kim and you passed up to give Eric Dyer new life.
Exactly.
Because how is Eric Jeremiah Dyer still starting games in the year of our Lord 2023? And you could have had Kim Min-jae in there. That is insane. That's insane.
It's insanity. It's incompetence. That's what it is. It's a board that doesn't know what they're doing. It's no talent ID. Well, we don't have a DOF. Clearly, Daniel Levy doesn't know what he's doing. The guys below him, in between him, these guys don't know what they're doing. And yeah, we're just missing out on gems. And of course, it's a gamble, 10 to 13 million. The thing is, if we're being real, when you get a snip or a player for that much money from the big clubs, some of us will turn our noses up at him. Oh, who's that? Why are we going for peanuts? Why don't we buy ready-made players? But not every player can become a ready-made player. So now a club like Napoli has taken a gamble on him. And now, obviously, he is a named player. So I think for us fans as well, sometimes we've got to understand there will be big players, but there will also be guys that are relatively unknowns that can come in with a high ceiling, like a Kim Min. And you've got to trust your
Kim Min-jae is the best guy to go to Man United because he suits Erik ten Hag. He plays from the back. This is one of the reasons why Napoli this year are so dominant. He plays from the back, can pass the ball, can actually push forward, drive with the ball. He's better than Varane and probably better than Martinez. He's the best center back that Erik ten Hag can get. For that price, you won't get someone better in the world. The reason why Tottenham didn't get him is that the Premier League clubs, especially the big clubs, they don't go and recruit from the Turkish league and stuff. They go for the superstar from the Spanish league. They go for the superstar in the French league. They don't do their due diligence in these lower leagues. I'm calling them lower league, the Turkish league. They don't go to the Polish league to get a player like what the Spanish league does. Like Lobotka, for example, what a great player in the midfield. Premier League club don't do that. And until a player goes to a team like Napoli and win the league, now he's in the picture. But Kim Min-jae, what a player to join Man United. What a player.
I just want to say, in terms of the deal that's being discussed today, United have held advanced talks with him where they've made a financial proposal to the player and his representation, and the player is keen on the move. United want it done quickly. The reason they want it done quickly is up until the 15th of the first 15 days of July. So that's a really weird way of them writing it. But the 15th of July, there's a release clause of just £43.5 million. And I think in 2023, when you look at a player that's just won Serie A, the hype that's around him, the experience and age he's got, and his technical ability, 43 million is an absolute snip. An absolute snip. When you consider that outside of that clause, you're probably looking for a Premier League club, 65, 70, maybe even as high as 80 million pounds for him. So for me, I've watched him play maybe 10, 15 times. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on him, but he does look good. And I think what you said, Mo, about him playing out from the back is massive for United. And I wanted to ask Flawless, you see the way there's a lot of talk of, has Erik ten Hag developed his style of playing, his brand of football to where we want it to be? Do you look at these types of signings as an indication that we know we're not there yet, but there is going to be much more football, much more playing out from the back as things progress under Ten Hag?
Yeah, 100%. It's showing that we, and you'll know this as well, Terry, and I've heard you speak on this in terms of that's where we need improvement. we need improvement all over the pitch, but in particular at centre back as well, because we've only got Martinez and Varane currently. Even though Varane's been fit and available for the majority of the season, having a Kim Min-jae can't hurt. Taza or Mike, who I have on my channel on a regular, was talking about Kim Min-jae from the start of the season. He was telling me, and he's like, look out for Kim Min-jae in the World Cup. And I look at him in terms of his profile, and he looks like a good player. And the price we're talking as well is a steal. I'm saying he's experienced. He's just won Serie A. He's played in the latter stages of the Champions League as well. And if we do sign him, what a start to the window it would be. Smart business again, going to get a player of that caliber for that price. And you get
do United sign him if you don't after that deadline? So let's say you don't get the deal done by the 15th of June or July. Do United still go and sign him? Because Napoli are probably the hardest team to do business with in Europe.
Yeah.
Like even if there's a release clause, I don't think they'll sell him for that amount. Like right now, I remember Have Hope was speaking about it like a couple of weeks ago on the show, where you said that, look, Osimhen, Kim Min-jae, Kvaratskhelia, all these players, they're going to have statues built for them, like because of what they've done. So are they going to let go one of their prized assets after just winning the league? Are they not going to try and say, you know what? Just try to keep this team and try and get Champions League.
The release clause is there. So as long as we bid the release, and what the reports earlier on this week said is that United are even prepared, because release clauses are all different. Sometimes it's if you hit that amount, they have to say yes. Sometimes it's a case of you just need to inform the player or negotiations start. There might be another club that's got an option. But United are reportedly going to offer about 5 million more as almost like to try and stop this from escalating beyond a certain point and to try and get this over the line. I'm not too sure the reason as to why, but it's what the article kind of, I don't know, get the rationale behind it. The article suggested Man United would, but I do agree with you. If we do a Fellaini, by the way, I think he's better than Fellaini, and allow it to go past the clause and then end up paying more for him later, that would be typical Man United business of the last decade. And we need to get done.
But let me ask this. So if you bid that release clause, that means automatically there's nothing that De Laurentiis can do to block you now discussing personal terms.
If he wants to go, he can go. If he wants to go, he can go. Yeah.
As far as I know, that's how release clause.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, like if you bid, then
that's how release clauses are. If a player has X amount and a club bids at X amount, then the club can't reject it.
The club can't reject it.
That's how minimum fee release clauses work. And Terry just mentioned it there in regards to United better. I don't want to see United do that. Wait till the release clause expires and then you're paying double or maybe even more than double for this player. I can't believe we're on this. I'm legit surprised that Manchester United are even. I think he's a good player. I'm just surprised we're looking at good players and going, all right, get this done early. I think
this is. Yeah, I was just going to say, this is a no-brainer for you guys. Absolute no-brainer. And I'm surprised that there isn't a bidding war going around, because there should be, when you have a player with such a cheap price going around, let's be honest, 45 million for a center back nowadays of his quality is an absolute steal, as you said. And there might be other people sniffing around. I think Napoli, they're going to be incentivized to try to hold on to him as long as possible to see if other people come around to try to bid for him also. Because at that point, they win, right? They want a bidding war.
No, of course they do. They want it to go past that point. But Man United have spoke to him. So maybe the bid's already gone in. But remember, when a bid goes in, no money transfers. Maybe Man United have already offered the release clause. That's why they're allowed to talk directly to him. According to Santi, who's a very reliable journalist, the talks are taking place and it's direct. It isn't through an intermediary. So I got a feeling we put the bid in. Napoli can't say no. Once the official bid's in, you're allowed to go and talk to the player. It's just whether or not. I think what may slow this down is Champions League qualification. If we miss out on the Champions League, I don't see him. I see him maybe agreeing, but then it might go past the deadline. Maybe he's going to wait to see who else comes in for him. That's why Champions League football. I think a player like this, Champions League football, is key. And for me, the reason why I'm excited is because he kind of. Varane's great and he's back now. He should be playing tomorrow, but that man can't play 2 games a week. And next year, Man United have got to try and challenge for the Prem, and we've got to try and challenge for the Champions League. Rafael Varane, ability-wise, he's the man, but fitness-wise, I worry. You throw Kim Min-jae into the mix, then suddenly you've got 3 top-class, in my opinion, centre-backs at your club. And that's where Man United need to get back to, because that's what we always.
Wait, hold on. Wait, sorry. Don't even fall. What about the fridge, Maguire? He's not included in this.
No, I thought you were going to mention Luke.
I thought you were going to mention Lindelof.
Well, no, Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw. That's the point.
Terry, don't do that. Terry, don't do that to your captain, man. Don't do that to your captain.
That's the point. Hey, you can, if you want him, you can have him have hope. That's the point I was going to make as well. It's that the links with Kim Min-jae and him potentially coming to Manchester United does spell the end for Harry Maguire and pushes Lindelof further down the pecking list as well, which I do like that. It goes there trying to improve.
I mean, to most points.
Do you see him leaving, going to the Premier League, a Premier League club, or he's doing a Chris Smalling and leaving the country?
Who, Maguire?
He has to leave the country.
I can see, you know what? For all the PR he gets and playing for England and all that nonsense, that doesn't really mean too much. I can see an English club and a Premier League club coming to sign Harry Maguire.
Yeah, I can see. He could go to like an Aston Villa or something like that.
Yes.
no, but here's no. Paddy, don't do that though.
They won't take it.
Maguire's pride is too. See, it's actually such a great discussion because my thing for Maguire. No, held on. See, because Flawless actually makes a very good point because Maguire has lived off of PR. And you can see that also. Doesn't he still have like a case to face in Greece or something? But put that to one side. 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 To one side. Put that to one side. Shout out to all my Greeks out there, man. Shout out to Socrates, man.
You beat the case, brother.
Allegedly. Shout out to Johnny Cochran. So, with Maguire, I think the issue with Maguire is, because Flawless makes a very good point, he's lived off of PR. Club captain, one of England's mainstays. So will pride stop him from taking a step down and going to a Villa? Because my thing though is I don't think any of the top teams are going to go in for him. Newcastle, with all the money they have, they're not going to go in for a Maguire. Chelsea have too many defenders. I don't know what Patrick will say about Spurs, whether he wants him at Spurs and so forth. And Arsenal, no. City, no. So really, the only club I can think of in the so-called top six is maybe Tottenham. I think everybody else is catered for.
We listen. Even though our defenders...
Okay, no. Patrick, Dyer or the Fridge? Dyer or the Fridge? Who do you take?
I'll take
it's not even about that.
It's just...
I think someone said it earlier. He has to leave the country. Because
he's not leaving the country.
One second, let me land. I think he could do a Chris Smalling. He can go somewhere because what we found is under the pressure, under the lights, when everyone's watching him, he kind of has these issues where when he doesn't have as much pressure, when he was playing at Leicester, he was performing well. So I think in a similar situation where he's out of the media spotlight, out of the situation and he's at a team where expectations aren't that high, he goes somewhere either in Italy or similar to Chris Smalling did in Roma, he could do quite well. I don't think it's a thing where he has to stay in the Premier League or he has to go to a Premier League club. I think he could definitely go abroad.
No, Igal, I'm with you. Like that's the right choice to make.
He's shown with England. He can play in a back three. So maybe he goes to a club where they play in a back three.
Yeah, he could go abroad, but the problem is abroad suits him, but who's gonna come in and sign him for the wages he's on outside of the Premier League?
He's gonna have to take a
inside the Premier League.
No one's giving him Man United wages.
I understand. Yeah, and I agree with you, Agal. That's why I made the point. I don't think anybody is giving him Manchester United wages outside of the Premier League. But I don't see anybody
even in the Premier League.
In the Premier League. What I'm saying though, and I agree with you as well. What I'm saying is in the Premier League is more likely to get closer to his current wage. So not only is it good, we're talking about his ego. Not only does it look bad, having to leave England, you're also getting half the money.
Terry, quick one. How much do you sell him for then? How much do you sell him for then?
Listen,
whatever you got. What you got, hey, Jerry? What you got in your pocket right now?
Because what I'm saying is that will offset what a team can then go and pay him. Do you understand? Because they'll be looking at, look, there's a player he's internationally proven, like you said, an Aston Villa maybe a Spurs. If they want to rebuild, they might go for a player like that and be like, we'll give you the wages. We're spending
take him. Why do you keep mentioning Chelsea? Chelsea not in this conversation.
You lot can afford him, number one, and afford his wages, number two. And I can see Todd B doing that, man. You tell me you can't see Todd B doing that.
On top of it, what Man United might end up having to do with Maguire is still pay him some of his wages. So that is also another option where someone offers him 200 grand a week. Maybe 100 grand a week, and United still have to pay £100,000 a week until the end of his contract. These things happen. We will come back to Man United in a little bit, people.